All right, Metalhead breakdown slash tutorial. Have a look. These first few steps are fucking terrible, so make sure you're jumping high enough for them. This monkey right here. Let's talk a little bit about this single monkey. This guy can choose to see how he walks out right there. Depending on how you run up to him, that affects the way he walks out. So the wider of an approach angle you have coming towards him, starting at about here from the lamp, if I were to go out this way and then kind of come like curve in, he would not walk out as far. So since this is 120% and we want to hit him and go to the left, we want him to walk out as much as possible. We really cut hard to the right in order to get him to come out. Grab that flame charge, beautiful. And that flame charge is beautiful because that really be aware that that this freaking box is right here. It's easy to forget like, oh yeah, you know, and then flame charge this so you can fade back nicely. I find that you can be nice. Usually I don't say this about stairs, but I find you can usually be pretty hasty with these stairs. And you want to get up them and just go for these two. It'll be really tempting to try to kill this guy or try to go for these two gems before coming back. You want to go just for these two and then grab these two as a double spring. Beautiful, beautiful. And that fade back is just gorgeous on that because if you come at spring chests like this, double spring chests are a lot more lenient than you think, especially if you're coming at them with this angle and grabbing the second one as you're rising and fading back in order to grab the second one before it falls. Again, that big guy, you don't have to kill him. Be nice, man. You don't have to kill him. You can. You can kill him, but he's not going to hit you. He's a nice boy. Look at him. He got a little dumb little face right there. He doesn't mind. These poles, there's going to be another section where you jump over a pole further on. These poles you can jump through, but don't be too hasty. If you short hop jump through them, you're going to bonk. So you have to get totally like kind of close to where the fire is. You know, dance close to the fire, as they say. Now, these stairs are just fucking awful. You can see I was trying to jump too quickly there. That's a thing that'll happen, right? As you go upstairs, and then, you see, I'm like trying to press X, and it's like, wait a minute, you know? But luckily, I didn't bonk on any of them. You got to make sure you get the full hop height out of them before you cut it off with a charge. Now here, talk about this. There's another one of those little pole jumps right here. Remember that you have to run directly through the key in order to grab it. Sparks is not going to grab that, so it puts you in an awkward position to have to jump and then charge through. I actually do a full-on charge glide just to make sure that I don't bonk. The glide really helps you kind of get through that area. Charge through. Yeah, basically just don't try to be too... In that whole section that I just did, don't try to be too hasty. I know I've already said that a couple times already, but especially in this level, this is a level that will just bonk city, like, if you're trying to, like, cut every corner like crazy. So, be safe, not sorry with movement, especially in that section right there. Yeah, these boxes are a little tough because it's like, in order to charge through them, you need to be taking kind of a risky kind of route and hope that Sparks is seeing those greens. But as long as you're hitting this first box as far, like with the side of Spyro's hitbox like this, then you're going to be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. But if you go straight through this box, then you will miss some of those greens. So just make sure that's how you approach that first box. And look at how I glide coming up to it as well. I do a little left and then to the... See how I, like, look at the joystick right there. Just a little to the left. See that little left right there? That's crucial. Charging jump, totally doable there. It looks scary. That charging jump looks like, oh, I shouldn't do that. Totally doable, very lenient. Even right here, it's like, am I going to make it? You know? But it is very lenient. Don't worry about that life chest. In fact, if you're low on lives, I don't recommend grabbing this one. There are lives later on in not just this level, but in Dreamweavers that you can grab. So I would not opt for this one, but this is a life that you can grab. Usually you'll be like low on lives at this point. You'll have been fucking up the run up to this point. So you can grab this one, but there are quicker ones. So I usually, even if I'm 0 lives, I'll just opt to not even grab that one. Okay, so this section here, don't worry about these roly-poly guys that are coming at you. It's like you're thinking like, oh, I gotta hit them. Remember that when they run past you, their gems collect automatically. So you could ignore them, and you should really focus on going straight to the side and flaming this guy right here. Also consider, see how I like tried to hit that guy? Like, I didn't need to do that. I could have cut that turn harder, right? Now, if I had cut that turn harder and say I was at blue or worse sparks, I could have hit this chicken and the fireworks chest in one flame. But I didn't need to, so it's no big. You can charging jump up that first step right there. It is a little weird, but you see, if you look closely, you can see that this step kind of goes down and then back up. So you want to aim towards the middle, kind of Tony Hawk 50-50 grind and land on the middle of this stair in order to catch it. I go for what's called the Suboom strat right here, where you do a full hop off the first stair, flame charge, glide, so that way you don't bonk, but instead you flop off this stair, but the flame still disassociates. See how the flame's hitbox is disassociated from Spyro's movement? Take a look at that in slow-mo, and take a look at that in slow-mo. Flame charge glide, flop down, and then jump. And it's really nice to do the Suboom strat there because it really baits out the guy's bananas, so that way you can grab these 2 red gems while he's throwing them. So that's nice. In any percent, I don't recommend going for the Suboom strat there with the early flame. I recommend just charging up and then flaming the guy when you get there. Something to keep in mind in this section right here is if you're fucking around too hard, either... let me see if I can get a good viewing angle here. Let me scroll back a little bit. If you're fucking around too hard... Oh, beautiful. This is a beautiful spot. If you're here or down here, like where this metal boy is and where that blue spring chest is, if you're standing in either of those little sections right there, it'll trigger the Metalhead fight early. So be careful about that because Metalhead is currently not spawned, and he's like, Metalhead is behind these walls right here. So if you get too close, his fight will render, and his pylons, you want them to be on a certain cycle. So if you're spending too much time in this spot or in this spot, you're going to have bad pylons. So that's like some secret tech to keep in mind. You don't want to spend too much time there. Same thing with against that wall as well. And right here, it's like, and especially it's like if you miss that spring chest, it's like, all right, recover it quick, you know, because you're starting the cycle, you know. But when you're this far away, the cycle stops as well. So the cycle starts, but it stops when you get out of range as well. Be careful with the chickens here. Usually, you'll be like blue sparks at this point. I'm lucky to have not taken damage at all up to this point, but usually you'll be blue sparks. So you got to be extra aware that if you charge through any of these fodder, that it'll make the gems 10 times harder to grab. You'll have to manually collect them. So just try to go around them. I just try to avoid them every time. That guy. Really quick flame charging for me here. But, yeah, I don't really have much to say about that. Just get it through, grab that gem out of the air, and get out of there. Easy. And with that banana boy, sometimes he'll throw his bananas a little early, but if you do this strat where you kind of do the 360 kind of turn around, like this whole like strat, sometimes he'll throw the bananas at that time. But if you're doing this strat, then in general, you don't have to bait out this banana guy at all. That banana guy, the metal banana guy from before, you do have to bait out, but this one you don't. Jump. This is for me as terms of movement optimization. First of all, you want to touch this dragon right down here, not over here. You want to hit him on this side, which you don't want to bonk on this. You want to charge straight. In fact, I even kind of go up left a little bit on the analog stick just to make sure I don't bonk on this. Because imagine you were fucking around on like the blue spring chest and you like you're barely gonna make the cycle. Maybe you know you started a little early. Now imagine you bonk on this fucking pole, dude. We've all done that. Anybody who's a Spyro runner has done that, and it's like fuck. If I didn't bonk, I would have had that cycle. So make sure you're not bonking on this pole. Go either straight with Spyro or even a little left with the charge, and then jump charge your way back around through this spot. Yeah, that pole will get you. And now see, look at these cycles. Beautiful green everywhere. This is not a hard cycle to catch, but it is easy to fuck up. And now look at that early gold right there. This gold gem fell down. See how that shit's falling. Normally, it'll stay up there. That all comes down to gem RNG and whether Metalhead is grabbing that enemy or not when you kill him on that first cycle. So that gold gem can be in a couple different spots, and I'll talk about that more when we get to the top here. But I got lucky by having it drop down early, because now I don't have to go over here to pick it up. Also, the gold gem can be further along in the area up there. I don't know why I went over here. I guess I didn't realize that I got the gold early, but you can see I was being really extra safe. And good thing I did, because sometimes the gold gem can actually be all the way over here. Sometimes you'll get really unlucky and he'll throw the enemy really early and he'll die when you end the first cycle. So that gold gem will be somewhere further along in the room and you aren't able to see it by the time that you're already over here, right? So Yeah, that gold gem can really fuck with your runs. Really awkward recovery. This is a world record, by the way. But yeah, if you get that gold gem early like I did, don't fuck around looking through the window like that. Oh, another thing to note about that little section back there where the gold gem is that, scroll back a little bit, is that this lava to the right here, this lava is insta-kill lava except for one polygon. So when you're coming from this direction, like say we're going all the way back up here, when you're charging in from this area, like look how easy it is to fall into that if you're not careful. So just be really careful with your jumping here. Really get the full hop and charge onto that. Like imagine you bonk right there and it's like run over, you know. It doesn't matter what sparks you're at, you know, you're just dead. And you have to do the whole first cycle again. Yeah, I think I noticed that I missed that blue, so I was like, oh, awkward recovery mode. And because you have to grab these reds, yeah, awkward recoveries. But normally you could just charge down from that upper area right there and not have to do all those 360s that I did. I played a little safe with this red gem right here. When you just jump for the spring chest here, you don't want to charge out of the air because you're going to miss that red. But you can charge out of the air like right before you hit the ground, but usually if you're charging at this point, you'll flop off this ledge, so be ready for that. Be ready to cancel a flop with a glide if you're trying to play your movement ballsy there. I didn't. I just played it really safe, just walked, grabbed the red, and then charging jump. Cleaning up the rest of these pylons. And when it comes to the route through the pylons, it's the same route every time. It doesn't change based on the cycles or anything. I mean, you may have to wait, you know, if you have really bad cycles, but just get a hang for it. Just like watch those sections with the pylons a couple times and just practice it once or twice. You'll get those. You'll think like, man, which ones do I hit first? Which ones do I hit last? It's just watch someone do it, copy it a couple times. You'll have it down. It's really not too bad. Now, talking about this vortex spot right here, you can see I went through these gems and then faded back. Now, just be careful if you're doing this strategy. What some people will do is they'll go all the way around the vortex, but I chose to fade back. It's a little faster, but you can obviously accidentally get into the return home portal if you do that. Now, this wind tunnel right here is a motherfucker. The hitbox for it, or the activation hitbox for it is disjointed from where it visually is. You can see it's like all over the place. Like you'd think you would have to jump in like somewhere here, like you're looking at this wind tunnel. It's like, all right, I guess I got to jump in like right here or something. Jump off further to the left than you think. You want to jump into it like right over here, not over here. See how I like kind of aimed a little bit more leftward? It'll really make you think that you should go here. You should go here. And don't jump. You could jump over it as well. That's another thing, is make sure that you start the jump like kind of late. Yeah, see, it's like I barely started jumping before I touched it. That also helps. Nice. Yeah, and just be careful with these jumps because if you're too hasty here, you might accidentally do a dumb charging jump or something like that. Also, you hear I was really ballsy to grab this last gem and then jump charge. But it worked out for me, but you just gotta get your timing together in order to catch that. Be aware that it's easy to miss gems here because Sparks doesn't always see all the gems right away, so you can see I'm playing it slow. I'll like stop. See, I stopped in that little section right there just to make sure Sparks was grabbing everything. If I'd have just charged through all of that, Sparks would have certainly missed some stuff. Sparks has to collect gems one at a time as Spyro isn't manually collecting them. And that's it for Metalhead right there. The last thing I want to say is you gotta flame charge these last two boxes. In fact, what I like to do is charging jump around the edge. I didn't do that here, but you can charging jump around this little corner right here and then flame charge out of the air. And even if you miss the second one like I did here, you can just grab it out of the air, and that's still faster than charging through the two boxes. Boom. The moment you see Spyro's head touch that last gem when it's active, fucking exit the level and you're out of there. Beautiful. 53-38. Look at that split right there. 53. I mean, that's just nuts right there. And look at that. That wasn't even like a perfect Metalhead. You know, this isn't like a perfect run. So this can definitely be improved. I highly wish that someone would come along and show me how a real Metalhead is done. But in the meantime, hopefully some of these tips are helpful to people who are not so used to the way the cycles or how baiting out some of the metal guys works, or the way Metalhead, like the way you can start his cycles early. Hopefully this gave some insight to some of you guys, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Keep fucking chugging and keep loving each other. Be the best Spyro player you can be, and stay happy. I love you. See you guys in the next one.